Kenya is on edge as anti-government protesters have been clashing with the police for weeks. Here's what's been happening in the country. At least 31 people have been killed reportedly across the country since July 7 after police opened fire on anti-government protesters during the 35th anniversary of the Sabasaba 77 uprising, which ended decades of one-party rule and brought in a multi-party democracy.
It is very concerning that these latest incidents come barely 2 weeks after more than 15 protesters were reportedly killed and many more injured in Nairobi and in other parts of Kenya.
Back in 1990, the government cracked down hard, killing at least 20 people. History now seems to be repeating itself. On July 7, protesters flooded the streets. Police responded with force. Public property lay in ruins.
Kurudi kwa nyumba haitusaidii sababu vijana wetu wanapotea, hatujui tu wanapotea aje. Unakuta wamechukua vijana wetu, wameenda kuwaficha. Mzazi anatafuta.
Just over a week before the July 7th protest, the government had called the demonstrators anarchists, while the Interior Minister likened the demonstrations to an attempted coup.
Yesterday, what the police did to foil was they were able to foil an attempted coup.
Opposition leader and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has called for national dialogue to end the crisis, while the United Nations has called for restraint. Since June 2024, protests in Kenya have been a recurring theme. Initially, young Kenyans took to the streets to demand an end to tax hikes in the finance bill, which they believed would raise the cost of living. But the protests quickly evolved and took on a larger issue, such as accusing the government of corruption and police brutality. The government deployed police forces across the capital to contain the protests, but demonstrations persisted. The bill was subsequently withdrawn, but the anger has continued to simmer.
I want to tell those characters, the ones who are telling us, giving us lectures, that they can change this administration using unlawful, using violence, using unlawful means before 2027. Let them try.
The tax bill may have been withdrawn, but anger was reignited in late June 2025 following the death of a blogger while in police custody, sparking another wave of protests with over 16 additional deaths reported, bringing the death toll since June 2024 to over 100, with dozens detained and many missing. But the protesters remain undeterred, using social media as a tool for mobilization. Protesters and rights groups also accuse the police of working with criminal gangs armed with whips and machetes to join the protesters and incite violence to discredit their movement.
Some goon, because house yakina agency, maandamano ya agency, they were goons. They invaded our shop, and by the way, we've lost so many things.
This movement, largely led by Kenyans of Gen Z age, stems from deep economic frustration. Over 80% of Kenya's workforce is trapped in informal, low-paying jobs.
This government was elected on the basis of a bottom-up economy to raise those who are underprivileged, those who are surviving on $1 a day, and be in a position at least to come up. But clearly the hustler narrative died immediately President William Ruto took over power.
The protesters now demand President Ruto's resignation, but he's not backing down, meaning the unrest may not stop until the next presidential elections in 2027.
Anytime we say Ruto must go, in 2027, we are not going to help him in any way.